You refuse to help us load the pinnace, insist we stay, though Howe and Dare are dead. You want to fight with the Roanoke against us, rid Virginia of all Englishmen. Am I not an Englishman? Montejo says. Your hair, those beads about your neck. Father yanks the strand. Shells spill to the ground. No Englishman dresses this way. Montejo's teeth are clenched, though his words are clear. Do you not realize how much I've lost in joining you? Some here do not trust me. My own people do not understand. But they have not seen what I have, our Queen Elizabeth, the great Whereon Squaw, whose power reaches across the seas. I can be Croatoan and speak for my people. I can be an Englishman and serve my queen. Liar, Mrs. Dare shouts. Spy! It is George who yells the loudest, his features a grotesque mask of hate. The tumult grows, explodes into a frenzied chorus. I set my feet wide to keep from being shoved about. Mother finds me, Samuel's cries reaching hysteria. She pleads with me to follow, but I pretend I can't hear her. Mr. Pratt and Lump and Bump have tied Montejo's hands behind him. His head dips forward like a broken reed. I try to piece together what George might have seen. If what he said is true, George would gain satisfaction in finding reason to attack. At Father's command, the men led Montejo to the jail. How quickly Father's found his place again. Elise, Mother calls, but still I will not go to her, nor Father, who has sparked unrest, encouraged an angry boy to speak against Montejo. The one our governor appointed as our leader, the one our governor called friend. I return to our cottage, close all the shutters to escape the chaos outside. I called for you, Mother says. I do not answer. Father's looking for the Howe boy. Have you seen him? George is not my worry. I care for nothing that happens in this village anymore. Mother finds a piece of bread, serves me a modest portion. My hunger awakens. I've had nothing since breakfast. I do not ask of Father, simply reach for Samuel, let his steady breathing draw me to sleep. It is Mother who awakens me in the mid-afternoon. Please take this to your father. He's had no food since morning. Within me, anger's fire has diminished, leaving sorrow's blackened ash. I hold the bread she offers, kiss the top of Samuel's head.
The sun escapes the clouds that have held it fast. There is change in the English camp, the way they move about, like the sparrows that flock just to flee the harvest season. The sun journeys farther across the great expanse. The English boy, whose hair curls at his forehead like strips of peeled river birch bark, from behind a tree I see him approach, put down his weapon. In watching Elise, I've come to understand the English coverings are more than warmth and protection. Maybe the boy has never seen a woman dressed as I am. I cross my arms before me for his comfort. I've come to speak of Elise. Hope soars when I hear her name. We know of your secret meetings. He hesitates for a moment. Don't expect her again. What has happened that she hasn't come? She is in trouble. His eyes meet mine. In a flash, he lowers his gaze. I have caused her trouble. I hold my fist to my chest. Elise. Before this English boy, I claim her. There is something else, he whispers, his features sharp with pain. I am sorry. He covers his face. I am sorry. He rushes away.
There is one who needs might have been forgotten in the chaos of the day. I cross the threshold, hold the bread in my outstretched hand. For Montejo, my voice echoes off the walls. Mr. Pratt wipes his bald head with a rag, follows me with wary eyes. My mother sent me with this, I say. For what is one more lie? Mr. Pratt takes the bread, pushes it through the iron bars. Montejo lifts his head. Thank you, Elise. This man saw no wrong in my befriending Kimmy, this one who lives in the in-between, not of one world or the other. You and your friend, I made sure you were always safe. Thank you, I whisper. Trust he feels the gratitude these simple words convey. Mr. Pratt crosses his arms. You've done what you came to do. It's clear he wants me gone. But there's one thing I must know. I lean in close, rest my forehead on the cool metal. Why did you let me go to her? His long black hair, pearls in his ears, all is familiar now. Monteo smiles faintly. Never would I alter what is right.
The boy looked for me. I linger until all have eaten. The fire pops, sends up sparks that are swallowed before they reach the sky. The boy came to speak of Elise. Uncle, the name binds us. He cannot turn his brother's child away. Kimmy, mother scolds. Leave our Werowance alone. I will not listen. The boy took great risk in coming. Uncle, I lift my chin, launch the word like an arrow. Go. He cannot refuse me now. Wanchise's jaw tightens as he studies me. I reach for my pearls, now gone. They were our friends once, I say. The English? Why do you speak of them again? His words warn not to push further, but I do not heed them. I want to know why things changed. You come to me as though you have permission. You forget I am Werowance. You are uncle. This has never changed. Wanchise sighs. He thinks I haven't learned my place, but I know exactly where I belong, here, near him, and with my dear friend Elise. They only give false friendship, Wanchise says. If Wingina had listened, he would still be with us. It was too late, when he saw as I did. The path to his death had already begun. He leans closer, his necklace flashes in the firelight. Never forget the English killed your father. I cannot help but say it. Not all of them must be our enemies. He gazes at the fire, silent. It is only when I'm sure he's finished that he speaks again. Have you gone to the English? Uncle, have you spoken with them? How I want to tell of Elise, that she's the friend I need, that even if she's abandoned me, I will never leave her. But this truth is forbidden. Wanchise, Nuna's father calls him. Chogan is missing. My uncle stands to go, but first turns back to me. Have you betrayed my trust? I cannot answer. Behind us I hear whispers. It is mother, her sisters. Wanchise's eyes are cold, unfeeling. Do not be reckless. This is not a game.
Our friendship, it is right, Monteo said. I'll hold to the smallest comfort someone understands. The sun nears the horizon. The village feels abandoned. No one is about, but there is someone coming from beyond the forge. George, lunging as if he's new to land after months at sea. Where have you been? I ask him. Does he even hear me? His musket trails behind him, cuts a wavering line. I went to her. I saw the girl. Told her I am sorry. He stumbles to the ground. Near their village, I wanted to get close enough to frighten them. He makes an awful sound, as though he is in pain. I've killed an Indian, he says.
I leave the fire's circle, its ring of light emboldened, now that dusk approaches. Kimmy, mother calls, it's time to eat. She holds a bowl of fish in her hand, but my thoughts are elsewhere. The boy tried to tell me something, and now Chogan is missing. Already the men search the forest, where Chogan hunted. I remember the English boys circling even closer to our village, their weapons always ready, how sometimes we'd see them from the shelter of the corn. I run to the fields before I know exactly what I'm doing. The third planting corn's bright tassels dance in the sun's last golden rays. The air, tinged with coolness, speaks of harvest coming soon. Before I enter the fields, my feet stop moving over the packed earth. Everything about me stills. There a man lies, his arm twisted under him, a gaping wound on his back. Chogan.
What did you say? Dread wraps about me. His clothes are filthy, his eyes are far away. I've killed an Indian. The girl? I cannot help the anger in my voice. He shakes his head. A man, he whispers, leans his head on his knees. I want my father. Sobs shake his body. I want him back again. What's this? Mrs. Archer says, walking past with young Tommy. Someone help this boy. Soon we are surrounded.
I run the well-worn path past the longhouses to Wanchis. Fight for my breath, tears blur my sight. Uncle! Wanchis hurries to my side. Chogan is dead. All rush to the fields. I wipe my face, wait till they've gone, and run. Wanchis will keep striking. My legs burn. He will not stop. My chest screams until the English are destroyed. Only once outside their palisade do I allow myself to rest.
Mr. Archer and Mr. Flory lift George to a bench. Mrs. Archer holds a cup, insists he drink. Father shoves past the others, his shirt tails flying, rushes to the middle of the crowd, his forehead lined with soot and sweat. What has happened? He demands. I step back from everyone. I do not want to know what George might say. I am finished with the fighting, the mistrust in the village. Yet how will it be different when we leave for Chesapeake? With other tribes, it only seems division will remain. Our surroundings will be new, but our fears will be the same.
I have trusted my Montauk to protect her, but to keep her truly safe, I must tell the English to leave immediately. I must send her away. The ditch, the middle boundary, provides cover in the coming darkness, but I will not stay huddled there. I dart from one building to the next, pushing closer to the center of the village, crouch low behind a house, remove her ribbon from my skirts, knotted about my wrist. With this, I'll show her people I come peacefully, hope they'll listen when I tell them it's best for them to go now, quickly, before it's too late. All the people crowd about, surround a crying boy, the one from the forest. Desperate, I search for Elise. Rough fingers grasp my wrist, jerk my arm, spin me around.
I've caught an Indian here in our village. The dusk's alive with voices. Others must be coming. Go find shelter. People scatter from the square. Old Lump and Bump leads Kimmy by the arm.
The man pulls. My feet do not behave. So many of them fleeing, open fear upon their faces.